Hi, this is your legal counsel, Jiwon Lee. When you face a crime scene or have a legal dispute with somebody that can be solved by the consent of both parties, you have to enter a lawsuit against the other party. When you file a lawsuit, it'll be either a civil case or criminal case, depending on what kind of law applies to the action you are trying to accuse. Civil lawsuit cases are mainly about issues related to contracts and damage between individuals. On the other hand, a criminal lawsuit requires the action to fulfill certain conditions that are stated in the criminal law. For example, suppose you rent a house and sign a contract with the landlord. After living there for a certain period of time, you found out that the landlord gave you false information about the house, which you obviously wouldn't sign the contract if you had known about it beforehand. In this case, you can either file a criminal lawsuit against the landlord for fraud, so that he or she will face a punishment such as fine and sentence imprisonment, or file a civil lawsuit for committing a tort, and in this case, the landlord will face a monetary compensation. In case of entering a civil lawsuit, it requires a series of paperwork because in Korean legal system, every argument must be presented by written documents. Therefore, if you are not able to write in Korean, a certain assist by Korean speaker is necessary. If you get into a criminal lawsuit, most of the procedures are done by the law enforcement agency, such as the police department and prosecutor's office. And in this case, both parties are required to make a verbal statement to the law enforcement agency. Therefore, written documents are provided to assist the statements that you make. It is necessary to communicate closely with the police officers to explain the situation and state your opinion of the criminal cases which you are involved in, because every testimony made during the investigation will be the evidence to prove the criminal offense of the suspect. So, these are some of the basic information which might be useful for you to resolve your legal case in a better way if you are living in Korea. If you have any question regarding your case, please contact down below and I will be available to assist you. This is your legal counsel, Jiwon Lee. Thanks for watching.